Alright, so this is supposed to be SpaceX area here, and it's rocket testing, I believe, because it looks like it has rocket spray pushing from here outward, is my guess. It looks like it could be rocket spray, and I'm hearing the noise. I asked ChatGPT, what's making that loud roaring noise? And they said it's SpaceX testing rockets. It happens every so often. They said it's near McGregor. Okay, and McGregor's like, you know, the locals who live here, their windows are rattling and all of that. They can complain if they want. But it's here, southwest of McGregor. I'm way over here. Way over here. My blue dot is here, and I'm hearing it, and it sounds extremely loud. I measured the distance, and this is just by road. This isn't even direct. Actually, I could just make it direct. I just choose this spot. Okay, and then measure distance. Okay, from here to where I'm at is 20 miles, roughly 24 miles, and I'm hearing it it's shaking everything around me, this rocket, extremely loud, even that far away. So it's a 20-mile radius all around. Was I in... Oh, I never... Temple? I never visited Temple. Temple would hear it. They would likely hear it, unless there's mountains that separates. And I'm surprised, why doesn't Tesla... Aren't there any mountains that they can test in? It's very, very loud, even 20 miles away from that test site. And it goes for about 30 seconds at a time, just rumbling all the way over here. Alright, I'm at Hawaiian Falls, Waco, in Waco, Texas. I expect them to be closed for the day, being out of season. Too much in the winter still for swimming. Oh, I gotta say, I felt sick for like 2 minutes. I did not like that. 1 pound. I felt sick in my stomach for like 2 minutes, just sitting. And then I get all kinds of phlegm I felt built up in my stomach or my esophagus, that I was kind of I don't know, trying to get out. I think it's a muscle issue, maybe. I was sitting and I really couldn't stand up because I was getting ready to leave a spot. I was at the disc golf park, and when I got there, there was nobody. And within a half hour, it was all full of disc golf people. So I desperately looked for somewhere else to go. But that sickness was a little debilitating. I cannot be getting sick. That just doesn't do me any good. It really wrecks my energy. I just suddenly become focused on the sickness. I think that the hiatal hernia's got to be it. It felt lower than the hiatal hernia, but if I'm feeling phlegm, it's probably a sickness from the hiatal hernia, and it's got to be like maybe a squeezing or a pinching that came from the sitting. I feel like I could get relief by standing up, which I'm doing, but I'm experiencing the after effects of that sick feeling now. It's not very pleasant. Alright, 8 a.m. The sun is over there, so I expect it to end up over here this way. I'll have shade for the midday at least. It's supposed to be in the 80s, as long as it doesn't get crazy here. I do this all the time. I think I gotta blame that I just don't know where's north exactly. Look at how much sun I'm in. I was calculating that I would be in the shade. The sun is angled that way, and I mean it started out over there, but it's just stayed angled, so I've been in the sun the whole time. I should have been on this side where there's shade, but I couldn't calculate it. I assumed that the sun was going to go from straight over there to straight over this way, but it's at an angle, and I messed up. It's a little warmer than I care for, so I guess all I have to do is adjust. But I really wish I could get my predictions better early on. I kick myself when I make the mistake. But I mean, I'm making my decisions based on limited information. Right, I didn't even start the engine. I was able to just pushed it back and forward. That's no incline, so it worked out. I get the feeling that this area is just not healthy. If you can hear that rocket roaring, even here I can hear it. It might not be healthy to be around here. I feel lightheaded a lot, slight headache. It's consistent, and I haven't changed my diet in any way. I think the environment is bad. The tap water tastes pretty good, mostly. I don't smell anything different in the air though, but I mean, I'm lightheaded way too much. Yeah, I think there's something undesirable with the environment here. I mean, the traffic is extremely busy, even near here. The wind isn't blowing off the road here over to my spot though. But still, there's a lot of activity. There's that rocket engine noise from SpaceX. I'm thinking maybe I'll just jump 30 miles north to that Walmart at the end of the day here. I don't think I want to stick around here any longer. I mean, I've been like struggling for oxygen, like I'm at a higher elevation. They're like taking the oxygen out of the air or something. I've been struggling ever since I got here. Just while sleeping, I've been breathing heavy. I'm breathing heavier. So I bought a pencil sharpener, but it was a cheap one. But later toss it because I prefer sharpening the pencil with just a regular knife, because the pencil sharpener cuts into the graphite, the lead, whatever it's called, too much. I don't need the lead sharpened, so I just carefully cut it with a knife instead. It seems like people prefer to buy pre-sharpened pencils, and it looks like a waste to me. I asked ChatGPT the downsides or the upsides, and it said that pre-sharpened pencils may have a tendency to break easier, just the lead, because they're sharpened and vulnerable during shipment. Unsharpened pencils tend not to break, and you can sharpen, you just sharpen them how you want. I just want the lead. Alright, I'm going for a little walk from my car in the swimming pool parking lot, and they had a parking lot over here. They got a field of grass, overgrown, but they still have the lights. I don't know if that shows up very well, but this is weird. I've never seen anything like this. It looks like it was an old parking lot out here, and they tore up the concrete. There's not a sign anywhere of the concrete. They deliberately pulled it up, I think, but left the lights. Maybe they didn't put concrete. Maybe it was always, considered a dirt lot, but they still put lights in a dirt lot. Pretty sophisticated light structure for if it is a dirt lot. One of these lights fell down. They weren't put up very good. There's no light bulbs in them. Huh. Or at least in this one. I didn't really look closely at the others. So what happened? Somebody take the nuts. These nuts bent this on the side, and then could be live electricity for all I know. And then I don't know what happened to. I don't see any nuts laying around. Would they have been ejected far? This is the end of the parking lot. Maybe the lights are the first thing they put up, and then they intended to put up a pavement, but decided against it, just stuck with the in front, the parking lot in front. So ChatGPT brings a new authority that the cops will listen to. I even heard him say when I asked what's the crime like in Waco, Texas. ChatGPT said that it's one of the highest in the nation, and the cop was like, yeah, that's right. They'll listen, and if it makes sense, they'll agree. And I don't know, ChatGPT makes more sense to me than most people. It's gonna have a tendency to make sense, so there's gonna be some obedience that happens. I'm south far enough to see some nice spikes. Ooh, these are tough spikes. Not quite in the desert, so they're more temperate spiky plants than the desert arid, semi-arid. It's more than semi-arid, maybe temperate. Not like the arid spiky cactuses. You know, you could really hurt someone if you took a stick and just started beating them with this thing. Even just pulling it back and letting it go. Boom. You could really hurt someone. They got some, like, take this stick, you just start beating someone with it. You poke them really good. All right, so I noticed that my shoulder pain seemed to have gone away from doing curls. All the other exercises I've been doing have maybe made it worse. Like my stretching exercises, just stretching out my arms. They seem to have caused this problem, actually, where I was getting stinging pain in my right shoulder mostly. And it was mostly the right shoulder, you know, in combination with all the reaching back that I've been doing in the car as well. So I just sit in the car and have to reach back for whatever all the time, all day. And that wears away at the shoulder. And it was causing sleeping problems a little bit, waking up at 4 a.m. with the pain. I'd put a little magnet attachment through the shirt to get some relief, but it's a mechanical problem that I've been causing, and I needed to adjust how I was doing things. So the stretching, this doesn't fix it. Stretching like this, and I think this actually was making it worse. Trying to work the shoulders between the shoulder blades, just a little bit worse. I had to attack it directly, and that's why I bought these bands. These aren't exactly cheap either, but I don't know, I don't really have a great way to perform curls or to hit the shoulder better, because I got my my dip station, and it's more of a rowing, but I wasn't getting any relief from the rowing, leaning back and rowing. It was more, it seems to be more curling up and down. And I got my mortar, my mortar, I guess you could call it a mortar, not the pestle. I kind of had intentions to just kind of lift this more, play around with this, but I haven't been doing that. This has got a pretty good weight to it. It's just how it feels ain't great. I don't have the motivation to deal with this, so I've been getting kind of weaker on my curling because I haven't been messing around with this, and I haven't been using it much for food processing either. It just kind of sits there, but there's no way I want to get rid of it. I will crush food eventually again. And it's a hot day today. Okay, so early on in my research of bands, I bought bands many years ago, like what, in the year 2000, when they were tubes, and they really weren't connected like this. You had to like tie them at the end. You could like cut off, they had rolls and you cut them off. But I tried it, I played around with some ideas different from what I do now, but I abandoned it. And then over the years, I would buy a band and then just get rid of it. I think I've gone through like 3 cycles of looking at bands in different ways. And now with the shoulder injury that happened, I'm looking at the bands again. I just started out with one band for curls. Didn't really do much. 2 bands, 2 black bands. Then I started noticing less pain in my shoulder. And now as I'm getting a little bit stronger, I got these 2 red ones. And all I use the bands for are just curls. Just put them on my feet. I don't know how much can be actually shown here. Just use them on my feet and curl them. And I mean, yeah, I'm working biceps pretty good. And I mean, these are just too tough. This is all the higher I can get on a strain. So I give myself some relief and lift 1 foot like I'm walking. I guess I could go for a walk like this, but you can't. It's got the stretch I need that bicycle tires don't. I've played around with bicycle tires, and they really don't satisfy. So I'm using bands now again, and only for curls, not really anything else. And it has a lot to do with just taking away that shoulder pain, because all the other exercises I do are causing a bit of a strength imbalance and joint stability imbalance, and then that leads to aches and pains, especially waking up at night. I was having hip pains as well, both on my right side, and I almost forgot to mention that the hip pain, it was for just like a couple of weeks ago. It was right shoulder and hip pain at the same time. I wake up at 4 a.m. with hip pain and shoulder pain, but now the hip pain is gone. And that's largely because I'll take the bands and wrap them around my knees sitting in the car and just doing some exercise like that. And I keep them close. But yeah, I like to just sort of put them in between the knees and just work the hips. Work the hips out. I don't usually stand up and work the hips. It's all sitting down. And sometimes I'll put both the blacks on. But just doing this for my hips has taken away that pain. I no longer wake up with the hip pain either. That was one of the first pains to go. And those are the worst pains I experienced with joint pains. And it took me a while to figure it out, but hip pain's gone with the bands, and the shoulder pain's gone with the bands, which tells me that I had some strength and balance, joint instability issues, and my best solution was to use bands. I don't know. I really don't have any other reason to use the bands besides this. So these are specifically helpful for certain types of pains, and yeah, I wanna do a maintenance thing. Being older, I have to do the exercises or I'll wake up with problems. I'll wake up with, I was waking up also for a while with like a poor blood circulation in my stomach region. While sleeping on my stomach, I would wake up with like just a weird bad circulation. I need to move more, and it was just laying on my stomach, maybe laying on a bump or something. But since I've been doing push-ups with these push-up bars, I've been strengthening the whole region, and I'm not getting that problem anymore. So you can call these what these are push-up bars, but they're also known as something else, parallel bars or something. I want to get a slightly bigger one. I got the dip bars, and I got these, and I think I want the ones in between so that I can shoot forward when they're just, if I can just have them a little bit taller, then I can do a push-up and shoot my feet forward, and then do whatever this is, the bridge, and then shoot back, and do a push-up. And I just need just a little bit higher. So I'm looking on Facebook Marketplace. People nearby Dallas are selling theirs. But strengthening my core like this, doing these push-ups, has really helped for my sleep. I have more I have better ability to handle lumps and bumps that develop in the sleeping conditions of my car here. 'Cause I can't always get this perfect. So because of that, I need to work on my physical fitness more, which I have been neglecting, and now I hope I can get it on track. So I'm gonna stop this here. This pile of rocks here seem a little unusual. It's only for a short ways. Maybe they're here temporarily or for the baseball park. I don't know. And the train is blocking actual roads. No problem. In a small town like this, when they can do that, that tells me that an area like this is probably going to be pretty quiet for the day. Alright, Samsung started this new thing where I can now use my phone as a bit of a extender. So, yeah, just this morning I was not able to get connected with my tablet to the Walmart Wi-Fi, but where my phone was sitting, which was here, it was connected. So I just connected to my phone, which I get full bars. But the phone didn't have full bars with Walmart, but it was still able to connect over the tablet. So I'm thinking now with this new feature from Samsung, I can play around with, I gotta figure out how far away I can get from my phone with my tablet, because feet matter. I could, have set my phone down within a certain range of Wi-Fi and then pick it up with the tablet in some way. If there's sketchy situations like that, and they come up every so often. Apply at the office to enter the restricted area, and it looks like it's for water, and I'm assuming that they say apply at office because this is a baseball fence. People might hit homers into the water tower area, and then they needed to get special permission to get those balls. That might be why this fence has this extra reinforcement. You don't see baseball fences with such reinforcement. I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with the changes going on in the technology of this phone. I can thumb press now instead of having to put in a password, and I can do other things too that are kind of neat, that are new with oh my god, they are fenced. Okay, I was looking for a bathroom. I doubt there's a bathroom. They got it all gated off. Oh man. I'm not exactly happy about having to put in the thumbprint even to get to the ChatGPT. I want ChatGPT to turn on as fast as a double button press, almost. It's like, if that was an option, I still have to put in a password to access ChatGPT, but it's like, it's almost as important as having a camera. And I can use other devices as cameras. I would like, well, yeah, and then I'd have to turn off the security feature to enter into ChatGPT. But yeah, it's kind of hard to decide what's more important, camera or access to ChatGPT. It's just the thing is, with cameras, I don't need to worry about the whether I got Wi-Fi or not. So that's a deciding factor. And this is primarily when I got controversy, like, say the manager happens to see me snooping around here, wants to come over and give me a hard time. What do? I want to turn the camera on immediately. ChatGPT, I'd be out of range, so it'd be kind of worthless. Main Street Campground, westfest.com camping. They camp right in front here. Yeah, I'm kind of looking for a bathroom. And I doubt, yeah, that's probably just the entrance right up here. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to really drive away I don't think there's any options. There's too many people hanging out at that baseball park. Inside the building, yeah, it looks like an entrance. Yeah, this West Fest, I think people park on the other side of these tracks, and that's why I'm seeing this trail and all that. Yeah, there's 4 white trucks. They're in the white truck club over there. I was parked over there, and then they started picking up nobody playing a game. They're just hanging out inside a building. Now that Judge Barber has added a contempt or a constructive contempt of court to my original charge of failure to ID, that increases my chances of being approved for a court-appointed attorney now, right?